little jazz riff for you guys. Little intro, breaking it on in. Trying to learn how to play the sax. Not very good, but I'm doing what I can. Hey, cheers to week 6. Bring it up. Little toast. Little top off. Been putting this away right here. Tasty. Man. I love the fall. I can feel the fall weather in the IE because it's not 107 today. Thank God. It's in the. It's actually it feels like beach weather. It's in the low 80s. That's hot for you guys. Rudy's got a beanie on today because it's too cold for him. So, anyways, uh, let's wrap up some business very quickly. Sincere apology from Rudy and I for starting Vernon Davis. That won't happen again, and we will be fined. We will pay the fine, obviously, and that won't happen again. Nick, thank you for the literary history background from Plato and it was Plato and Aristotle. Thank you very much for giving me the background on that. If you ever want to borrow this, let me know. Literary theory. I took a literary theory class at Cal State 2 years ago. Very heavy writing and reading, but it was very interesting. Read Allegory of the Cave by Plato. You'll enjoy it. It's very good. Week 6. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. It's great to be part of this league, 14-team league. Never been a part of anything like that, so I dig that. Very interesting, and it makes fucking like Gary's DP speech the other day. I feel you, brother. Motherfuck, 14 teams. There's nobody on the waivers, and you just have to fucking scrap. So it makes it tough. If you have a good team, like J Corp, will lead into that with his running back core. I mean, motherfuck. I masturbate to them every night. Are you kidding me? With Murray and Forte in a 14-team league, you wonder how he got that. How did he draft that? How did we let that happen? That's what I keep on asking myself. How did that happen? But with Murray, he's injury prone, so that's why I wanted to stay away from him. But hopefully he doesn't get hurt. He breaks a record. I don't know. He could break some records this year. From a football fan standpoint, I love the fact that Murray and their offensive line went in and punched Seattle in the throat and beat their ass. They look good. So with Romo though at the helm, I don't know how far they're gonna go. I like Romo. I think he's okay, but I don't think he can get it done. He fumbles PATs and field goals and snaps and shit like that. So he just can't hold the ball. He's got butterfingers, and I just don't trust him going down the stretch. So J Corp, I mean, you beat the shit out of nigga named Sean. Move Sean to 1-5, J Corp to 3-3. Thank God for Cousins. He put some points on the board for you, but there's nothing you could have done this week, nigga named Sean. It is what it is, dude. 148 fucking donkey punch. It's tough. And I look at J Corp, I mean, everybody's popping off 50, 38, 32. Deshaun Jackson scored 34. Your kicker fucking scores 18. 241 points. You should kick Reggie Wayne off the team for scoring fucking 8. He's a disgrace. Anyways, congratulations on the win. We will go to the next highest score from there, which is me and Rude at 215. So J Corp and the niggas you love to hate, I think they're the only two teams that have scored 200 twice. So it'll be interesting going down the stretch. You never know. It's nice to score 200 points, and it's nice to score 200 points twice in the same season and let you know that you have something working. A long season, don't get me wrong. Nigga named Sean, you still, you're 1-5, but it's a long season, man. Keep your head up. Don't be discouraged. So that's all the press I'm going to give you with scoring 93 points. Going to me and Rude, we scored 215 points, and I'm tired of Lacey scoring single digits. He's our number 1 pick, and he's been a bust. It's just been a rough season with him. Thank God we have, and I just checked this out today, we have the number 1 and number 2 wide receivers in the league with Jordy Nelson and Steve Smith. That's helped us out a lot. And tied for the number 1 defense with the Eagles. Jimmy has the Lions, which is the number 1, tied for the number 1 defense in the league. So that's sweet. That helps out a lot. But, to give you some props, don't show no weakness. God Lopez. Forsett has been great for you. He's produced, thank God, for your sake, that Ray Rice likes leaving bitches in elevator shafts and slamming their heads off elevator rails. and he stepped up. Rodgers with 32, Jeffries with 24, Titans with 30 points. I mean, 146 points is a respectable outing. 69-point differential. You had Jordan Cameron on the bench with 35 points, but what the fuck? You wouldn't have won. And the way Cameron has been up and down, I get you're not starting him. It would have been a loss regardless. So it's nice from that standpoint, as an owner standpoint, knowing that he wouldn't have got you the win either way. So we're gonna move next to JD Corp, Gary Daly at 2-4 now, and Merv 20, Matt at 3-3. 143 to 76. It's a 67-point differential. Gary, I hate doing this to you, dude, but fuck. -2, -5, -2, -5, 0. That's all I gotta say about your team. That sucks, dude. I'm sorry. It's just that's just fucked. I'm sorry. And I've been in shitty positions like that before, but it gives you the loss, moves you to 2-4. Matt, 143 points, nice outing. You got Sanu, that cat from Cincinnati, with 33 points, which was a great start. He was going to go off with AJ sitting the bench. Nice job. The thing that I feel for you is you have Sproles. You had Sproles and Foster, and Foster's been a beast this year. I made a little note here. Foster is, and I'll talk on it later. He had a -1-point game, and he is still a top 5 back, and he scored -1 against the Giants, which you think he would have rolled them up because they can't stop a nosebleed. But anyways, you got a very lethal team at 3-3. Your backs with the Sproles going down, I don't know. I've heard it's worse than what they're saying, but you never know. But anyways, you got the win there. Foster, Dalton, Sanu. I don't know how much Sanu is going to go off. But anyways, you used them this week and you got the win. So congrats on that. We're going to move on to the next one, which is, let's see here. Who was talking about you versus show us those dark man hammers. Kevin at 4-2 and Kyle at 2-4. This is the battle of My Mama Loves Me More Than You. 155 to 86 with a 69-point differential. 86 points. What are you going to do with that? You got Stephen Ridley, who's done for the season. And I say this every fucking time I talk about Patriots backs. I don't like them because you never know what fucking Belichick's going to do, man. He always tosses shit up. He's going to go with Ridley. He's going to go with Bolden. And I don't even know what backs they have there. They'll pick some guy off the street who's pumping gas and sign him, and then he'll go off. The nice thing that you have is Smith. And with 86 points, I usually don't give much love, but I think I like Smith. He's the Jaquez Rodgers this year. I don't know where Rodgers is at, but Smith is lighting it up. He's right below. He's a top 10 back, which is pretty impressive, not knowing his name at the beginning of the season. So nice pickup off the waivers. Work the waivers, man, because you're 2-4. You can still get back in there. With Kevin, Brady finally went off for you with 58 points. You got T.Y. with 48 and the Cardinals D with 25, and that's pretty much what you had. You have the Fitzgerald on the bench. I wouldn't have started that motherfucker either. But, maybe from here on out you might contemplate putting him on there because you have Macklin didn't have a very good season. Macklin has a bye week this week. So you probably will start Fitzgerald and see how he does. Good luck with that, but congrats on the win. We're going next to Nick. I think Nick played, D. Thomas. He played Chopsticks. So you got Nick versus Jimmy. Jimmy, I like your little picture of your donkey punch. Pretty good. I like that. This is the closest game of the week, 136 to 129. And the fuck thing about these games is you have people on the bench. Man, the Panthers defense is what killed you with the -1. That's usually the kiss of death, and in this case it was. You got Miller. With Knowshon Moreno going out, Nick, that's good for you because Miller's going to be the go-to, and Ben Tate finally did something with 20 points. This is the thing here that I looked at. You got Breeze on a bye. You got Peyton Manning scoring 28, and you got Glennon scoring 26. So he's right. You're right for the win here. Getting a bye week win with your quarterback being out, that's huge. But unfortunately, it didn't happen, and you just couldn't get it together. And the fuck thing too, you look at the Bears defense, and they have 27 points. So, you can read this as easily as I can. I'm just pointing out things that I see. With Peyton Manning scoring 28, if you're going against Peyton Manning, he scores 28, you can get a win if the Lions don't go off for 41. So, the Lions have been golden for you, Jimmy. Very sweet. Like I said, 7-point differential here. Jimmy at 4-2. You got Nick at 2-4. You're still in the hunt, Nick. I like your McKinnon. I'm just throwing it out there. I think McKinnon, the running back for Minnesota, he may step up and do something for you. So do not drop him. You're not going to drop him anyways in a 14-team league. But yeah, Manning 28, Thomas 22, Lions D 44. That was the bulk of the damage. So let's move on to the next game. We have just when. Let's see if I can find it. Alex versus Team Questionable. This was a pretty close game too, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because you had people on the bench that could have got you the win, which is shitty, but that's fantasy football, man. Cutler scored you 30, Alex, and Victor Cruz is out for the season, which is fucked. You got some questionable guys there, and I didn't think Victor Cruz was doing that good, but by looking at what he's been doing lately, he's doing pretty well. But for Team Questionable, you got Brown at 22, McCoy at 22, Oliver at 28, and the Ravens D at 22. In another league, I have the Ravens D, and I think they got me 7. So I got to look at the point scoring here for defense, because to get 22 points from the Ravens D is nice. So you got Torrey Smith. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered. Team Questionable, you got some big numbers. You got 90 points on the bench, which is impressive. Nice to see that when you have a team like that. So like I said, it's moving. Team Questionable 4-2, very respectable. And Alex 1-5. Don't lose hope, brother. Keep hope alive. You can still put it together. We got a long season, man. All right, we got next game and the last game, which is Sterling, and the War Machine Corp. Ruben versus the other tandem team, who did the wrap up a couple weeks ago. You guys are like a couple of puppets in there. But nice job with the wrap-up. I appreciated you guys taking your time and doing that. We got 4-2, Ruben scoring 169-64. And if I remember correctly, you guys fisted us. You donkey punched us a couple of weeks back. I think you beat the shit out of us 210-90. And then you score a 64. And it's tough for an owner when you're all over the place, man. It's very difficult. So hopefully you guys can put it together. You're 4-2. Versus 4-2, so these are respectable schedules. You guys can put up some points. The thing that was nice for Ruben here is that it didn't really matter that he started Nick Foles over Flacco. Flacco, he's one of those quarterbacks, man. I just don't like the guy. I mean, he scored 40 more points than Foles, and thank God it didn't come to bite you in the ass. So Gio went off. I didn't know that the running back from Minnesota, only scored 1 point. So you got Cobb. You have the 49ers D, very nice, and jumped off the page. For the Twins, -3 from the Chargers defense. That was rough. That was a very close game against the Raiders. Kind of scared me a little bit, but we pulled it off at the end. The Raiders did what they do, and the Chargers are having a pretty decent season. Very happy with. I think they're 5-1 as well. So it's a tough thing. To score 64 points. This was a 105-point differential. Ruben, you almost got the donkey punch this week, or the fist, I should say, or I think it's the DP award you guys give. And the 148 points was the one that went to J Corp initially. So, anyways, Luck was your shining star with 35 points, and thank God he scored 35 points, else you probably would have scored in the 50s. I don't know the low score in this league, but that's pretty low. So, like I said, that 4-2 and 4-2, very respectable. You just ran into a bus all this week, and that happens in fantasy football. So, the high scores of this week, to recap, were Brady and Flacco with 58 and Cap with 50. The IRs this week are the guys that are going to be out for not out for the season, but IR is going to be Sproles. Cruz is done for the season. Ridley's done for the season. and Marino's done for the season. Moreno never really got going, so that's not going to hurt anybody. Top 5 backs this the after week 6 are Murray with 171 points, Forte with 145, Foster with 123, and Bell and Giovanni Bernard with 117. Foster, the reason I think that's huge is that he's at 123, the third top back, but he scored -1 against the Giants, like I mentioned earlier, and that's pretty wild. The top quarterbacks, Luck at 211, Rivers at 179, Rodgers at 179, Flacco at 174, Manning at 173, and Ryan at 172. The thing to be noted here is Manning is 173. He is number 5, but he had a week 4 bye. So, you figure he's averaging around 30-ish points. So it might make him number 1 right now until Luck gets a bye, then it'll throw it all together. I was looking at draft rounds and things of that sort today because I like looking at where people were drafted. Me and Jimmy both drafted defenses in the 16th round. I drafted the Eagles. He drafted the Lions. They both have scored 144 points and are tied for the number 1 defense. Nice. I don't typically draft, and this is another statistic. Alex, it just happens to be the Seattle D you drafted in the 6th round. They have you 57 points right now. In the 6th round, I drafted Phillip Rivers. So, it's one of those things, man. You never know how people are going to be. There's tendencies, but we lucked out. So I just want to throw those little Moneyball numbers out at you guys. It's just one of those funky years. I didn't expect Murray to be the number 1 back in the league. And Forte, he's been a beast. And I think Bell from Steelers is going to turn it on here later on. So, anyways, I hope that wrapped everybody up. It didn't leave anybody out and touched on everybody enough. Let me go to the standings. I saw that Kyle is still on the 600s, which is not a very good thing. But you're where you're at. Yeah, you're at 2-4 with 697 points. So all you got to do is win, and you're in, because those points are going to get you in with points first. I'm assuming it comes down to record and then points first. So most points first. There's 3 people in the 900s, which is Team Questionable, the niggas you love to hate, and J Corp. So and there's some people that are close behind and the mid 80s, but those 3 teams are in the 900s. If they can keep it up, they'll be able to get themselves a spot in the playoffs. Week 6 is a wrap. Thanks for your time, gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed this wrap up. Peace.